All right, everybody. So in this segment, what we're going to be showing you guys how we do things here in the paint booth from start to finish. You'll see us prep it, get it ready, get it in the booth, set it up, base coated, clear coated, and then you'll start to see the process of us cutting and polishing it. So where this car is right now, it's in the cut and polish stage. We're in the spray booth. We're getting ready for our final 2K primer on this 1967 427 435 horse tri-power. As you've seen in some of our other projects that we put our Corvettes or fiberglass cars in a vinyl ester primer, and what that does is that creates a corrosion barrier and it's waterproof. Started that with 100 grit and then we went to 180 grit to refine the scratch, and now here we are at the 2K stage where we put a urethane primer on it. We are going to put 5 or 6 coats on this car and get it to the point where we can refine that scratch up to about a 600 grit scratch. Every area that we don't want primer, then we've actually draped the bag over, carved out those areas and stuck it to the tape and then reverse taped it from there. Every step you have to keep doing this. So you unbag it, you throw out the bag, you start your sanding, then you come back in, rebag it, reprime it, and the cycle starts over and over again. Before we go to paint, this is Marina blue, a very nice color with a black stinger down the center. It's gonna pop, it's gonna be beautiful. It's an early Saturday morning. On a paint day, what I'll usually come in and I will get all the toners started. BASF RM Diamond system. This is called Refinity. This is their system. Today we're spraying GM code 976. As you can see, the scale is actually moving downward and telling me how much more that I need to add. So now we're in the green, which tells us now hit the next color. It's asking for BC 170, which is a medium iridescent. So this is going to be some metallic here. So it's asking for 312.9 grams. On the land almost as perfect as you possibly can. Now we're 3/10 off. I'll just put a couple drops in there. I'm 1/10 off, and then there I am, right at 0. Now I'm ready for the next color. 152.5. Should be good to go. 0. 407's next. Right here. Next color is 105. Straight white. Right on the money. 101, which is a pitch control. Very good. RM only has one toner that's straight base coat. 201, which is a black. 201, which is our last. Alright, so that's it. The mix is done, so I've hit every mark. So this is what it looks like here prior to shaking it. And there's Marina blue. So all those colors make up that. I'm gonna go downstairs, get the vehicle ready, set the booth up, get myself ready, and by the end of the day, we'll have a Marina blue Corvette. Here's the Marina blue that we just mixed upstairs. What I'm gonna do right now is, like I said, I'm gonna use this as my first coat. 2 mixing cups. This is what I use inside there. So I know each cup is about 450 grams of color, 10% base hardener, so it's 495, and then half reducer. I'm gonna do 250. So I got 495, that's gonna be 795, about 845 is where we're gonna land. That'll give me 1 full cup of mixed, ready to spray color. Okay, so we'll pour this in. We're awfully close, about 836. So what I'm gonna do is I'll cut my can open. Just on one side. It's about 840. Probably get another 10 grams out of it. So I know now that a quart of base coat is gonna get me about 850 grams of material. 10% of 850 is actually 85. So we got 850 plus 85, 935, and then divide that by 2, 467, so we'll do 470. Basically what it's going to be is 470 plus 935, 1405 grams is my total mixed weight of my sprayable material. So it's pre-mixed. You put your base coat hardener in, we're going to take this too. And then with reducer, what I always use on an overall. I'm definitely going to use slow. And in the heavier months, the hotter months, I'll use extra slow. So now I know that I got to have 470 grams, which is half the weight of what I have here. Okay, so now that right there is our ready to spray material. Back in the day, my grandfather used to tell me that I would have to mix with 2 different cups, because if I just did something like this, and I think the older materials back in the day were partially the problem, but you'd get a hot mix, they used to call it, where your hardeners are not mixed thoroughly through the product. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll take another cup, I'll mix it, then I'll add the material back to it and keep adding the material to it, so that I know that I'm uniformly mixed throughout the entire product. 1 year only 1967 Corvette, Marina blue. And it's pretty rare because it came from the California, and I think it's 1 of 400. I use a double strainer. Most guys won't do that because the strainers are actually built into the cups themselves. I take the extra precaution. I don't like using the strainers in the caps. 1 coat, 2 cups. 1 coat for the front and 1 coat for the back clip. So I'm gonna head into the booth, set up the booth, get it ready, then I'll set myself up and there'll be game time. Tacking off the entire surface just to see if there's anything that's kind of stuck to the painting surface. Kind of gives me my last look at everything just to make sure that we're ready to go. It's very important to do these things if you want the job to be as nice and clean as possible. There's so many steps that are involved in trying to achieve the perfect paint job. These are special cars. The coupes, they didn't make many coupes. A lot different of a body style. I don't think it'll ever go out of style. There'll always be a market for the C2 Corvette. No matter the generations that change over time, the C2 Corvette is always gonna have a buyer for it. Everything feels really good. I don't feel like any waves or anything in the body. Very straight. There wasn't much fiberglass work that it needed to be done. It was an original car. It was still in its original form. Still had the original paint on it. I think the left front fender was tacked a little bit. Other than that though, I mean, it was a real good piece. Excited to get this thing painted, get another vet in our book here. I think we've done probably 50 or 60 Corvettes over the last 8 to 10 years, which is pretty cool in itself. I've probably painted, in my career, it's about 25 years now of painting vehicles, probably painted close to 75. But each time you do it, it's a little different. You know, you learn different things as you go. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm just gonna fine tune this edge over here. I didn't like the way it felt, so I'll come back and just put a little 800, hit that quick, and then it should be ready to go. Everything else felt pretty damn good. Working on our 1970 Chevelle LS6 project. The name of this color is Black Cherry. I lay 2 coats of a base coat on first. So I'll come outside, I'll hit the flash button, and it increases the temperature here in the booth to 115 degrees for 15 minutes. It pulls all the solvents out of it and it dries the panel. And then what I'll do is I'll come back in with a soft yellow pad here, and this is 800 grit. And I'll go through the panels and I'll scuff the panel nice and lightly, and I'll look for any pieces of dirt or a pinhole or anything like that, so that I can catch it before we put our last coat of base coat on. So I've gone through every panel. I actually found 1 pinhole on the fender here, so I filled that. So then after I'm done with this, obviously you could tell that it's a little dusty or dirty in here, and then I restart the whole cleaning process again. What I'll do is I'll blow my floor off, and then I'll blow the panels off, and then I'll tack rag the panels. It's a blue tack rag, has like a little bit of a wax on it, and I'll wipe the panels with the tack rag just to catch any type of remnants of dust that I sanded with. Make sure that everything is as perfect as we can get it. I put the most expensive products imported from Germany, and they perform, and then you get the longevity out of it. This is just a part of why you pay $40,000 to $50,000 for a paint job here, because of all these extra steps. And then after that, I'm going to use an anti-static gun. What this does is it negatively charges the panel. So positively charged is going to attract stuff to the surface. And all the times that we've been wiping this, we've been creating static electricity to those panels. This thing negates that. A stack gun is kind of like a new technology that's come out. It's been good for us. We've used it quite a bit now. At that point, I'm ready for my third coat. That should be my last and third and final coat. And after that coat, what I'll do is I'll turn the lights off and I bring out my sun gun. It replicates the natural sun. And I'll just shoot the panel just to make sure that my metallic's oriented properly and they're laid out properly. This color is probably not gonna be too difficult, but some of your charcoals and your heavy coarse metallics can be difficult, and sometimes you have to do a drop coat. So then after I'm done with that, then it's time for the clear coat. I always use two guns on a job anyways. I have a base gun. This is actually my first time using this Wacom Halo Evo 360 full carbon fiber. It's like paperweight. Also, the Vilibus DV1 Basecoat gun. I really like this one too. I feel like the droplets lay out nice and smooth. And this one is actually pretty damn good too. Another really important thing about having a clean paint job is making sure your guns are continuously maintained and clean. So this is my gun cabinet. It's got a collection of all my guns. As you can see, a lot of them are sodas. Here. I'm a soda guy. This is their polyester primer gun. It's a 2.5 nozzle. Lays it out really nice. For urethane primer, I like to use the 3M gun that they came out with. It's already got the adapter to it. Then you can change the nozzles. This one here is a 1.3, I believe. My most important gun in the cabinet is the brand new SATA Jet X. I love this gun. It's got the digital micrometer. Basically sets your PSI for whatever you want and it won't let it come off of that. This thing lays out the clear coat the way I like to lay it out. I use a 1.2i for the Jet X, so great gun. So this is my clear coat, my all-time favorite. I've sprayed pretty much everything that's out there by Axel Nobel, Sikkens, Auto Clear HS Plus 2-pack slow. The reason why they call it 2-pack is basically 2 slows to one of these equals a full setup. Very expensive, but lays out the best. Longevity wise, it's the gloss. Because I'm gonna make 2 quarts sprayable. So that's 64 ounces sprayable. For 1 quart, 597.5 grams to 319.9 grams of hardener. I double that. So I'm gonna do 1195 and 640. 1195, 640. There's no induction time, so you don't need to let it sit. Then I take out the old school strainers. Inside there, I knew 2 full cups is gonna get me 1 coat for the panels that I'm doing right now. But clear coat always burns more. So I'm bringing the 3rd cup in there with me. Put the gun on there, it's ready there. Now, when I go in the booth, I have certain parameters of temperature. It totally works different for somebody else. But for me, 81 degrees spray, 81 degrees economy mode. We're ready to go here. It's at 81 degrees, the booth. We're gonna put the first coat on. What I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna go tack it off. I'm gonna check it with the light, just spray the floor one more time before I go, and then we'll be ready to rock and roll. We're in the booth right now. What I'm doing at this point is I'm just checking for metallic orientation. I'm making sure there's no striping or bundling up of metallic. As you come over to the panel, what we're doing is just mimicking sunlight here. I don't see anything here that's bunching up. I just see consistent color all the way through. So as you can see here, again, same thing. I'm looking good. Just make sure we got good coverage, which we do. Same thing, looks really good. Doors and fenders today are gonna get 5 coats of clear, and the hood and the deck lid are gonna get 3. I'm gonna bury the stripe underneath the clear coat, and what I'm gonna do is do 3, give me a good base layer. I'll do my stripes, and then I'll put another 4 on top of that. You're still gonna feel the stripe like you did back in the day, that little ridge. It's just a cleaner job doing it in between the 2 layers of clear. when you pull the tape on the stripe, it stays nice and crisp on the base coat, and it can get a little tricky when you do it with the with clear coat on it. So that's what we're doing today. I've been painting now for, I would say, 20 years. You know, my grandfather was an original hot rodder. He used to paint people's cars in the driveway, you know, on the side, making extra money. One day we were working on a car in our shop that we had at the house. He had the old Vince gun and he was priming something for us. He was left-handed, so that's why I'm doing that. And I said, give me that. I started to do it. For so many years, I watched him as a kid doing it, and then so I kind of mimicked his motions, and I took off and ran with it from that point. And I'll never forget that day. You know, we always had dinner together, my grandparents and my parents. We came in that day and he told my grandmother, well, we got another painter on our hands. And then from that day forward, I painted everything. And he was like my wingman. So, you know, he'd point out certain things for me to do. And if I missed something, to go over here, he'd hold my hose behind me. You know, we were inseparable. My grandfather, myself, and my little brother, that we started doing this on the weekends and any time that we had off, a hobby that turned into a passion project. And now here we are. At the end of the day, our passion for cars and building the best cars that we can is at the top of our list.